Let's start with the United States and Canada, right? I mean, both sides back at the negotiating table. You remember that the talks broke down over bringing Canada into the revised NAFTA agreement last week, but they agreed to keep talking. That's going to happen today, and we expect that they might make some progress. The new deadline that they're looking forward to is October 1st. That's because of the 90-day clock starting up on Capitol Hill. So they've got some time now. But Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, has given some comments over the past 24 hours that make it look like he is not willing to make many concessions, if any at all. Here's what the Prime Minister of Canada said. He said there are a number of things we absolutely must see in a renegotiated NAFTA. No NAFTA is better than a bad NAFTA deal for Canadians. So what are the things that they want to see? Here's a couple of the sticking points in these negotiations, starting with a mechanism for dispute resolution. That's one of the tricky ones. Also this cultural exemption, which is fascinating. Among the other things it would do is it protects Canadian media companies from being acquired by American media companies. The example they give there is the idea of Fox acquiring the CBC. That wouldn't be allowed under the current regime. The Canadians would like it to keep it that way. And then dairy supply chain management, that's sort of the Canadian farm-based subsidy system that the Canadians want to keep in place as well. So a couple of those key sticking points there. Meanwhile, we're learning a lot more about dysfunction inside the Trump White House. This coming from Bob Woodward in his new book, which is called Fear. Some of the excerpts from that book have already come out. A couple of anecdotes here related to trade and specifically to NAFTA. Bob Woodward writes in his book about Gary Cohn, the National Economic Council director, early on in the Trump administration, stealing a letter off of the president's desk that would have withdrawn the United States from a trade agreement with South Korea, and then also saying, I can stop this, I'll just take the paper off his desk in terms of a letter to withdraw from NAFTA. So Woodward presenting a picture here of a Trump administration in which aides felt that they had to literally steal documents off of the president's desk in order to stop him from taking certain actions. The White House has pushed back aggressively on this book, saying it's fabrication. The president said in an interview yesterday that Bob Woodward has had credibility issues, guys. So that's going to dominate the conversation here in Washington today.